The Hicks love fishing in Quebec, but to Dary, French are pains in the neck until they meet some French Hicks who appear to be pricks, but end up helping keep Degens in check.
It's Thirsty Thursday. And that means we're once again hanging out at the produce stand, a podcast paying tribute to the great Canadian show, Letterkenny. Now, I know what you're thinking. There are a lot of other podcasts about Letterkenny out there, but this one loves fishing in Quebec. I'm Al, your host, and joining me in the room, as always, is the lovely Tanya, and online we have Squirrely Matt and the very groovy Victor.
How are you now?
So I've run out of adjectives, so now I just got to use very in front of anything I want. So be afraid, Victor. Be very afraid.
I can take it all.
Victor's got a table. What's your background? Periodic table.
Well, yeah, it's a deconstructed periodic table.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of looks like, what's that movie with Bradley Cooper when he's like super smart?
With Bradley Cooper.
Oh my God, I'm blanking. He takes that pill, makes him super smart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
I forget.
That movie, if someone can think of the name, it's like when he's thinking, there's sequences and there's I'm
going to say Limitless, though I haven't.
Limitless. Yes.
That's the one.
That's it. Yeah. So when he's thinking, is there sometimes you see things moving around and anyways, that's what your background kind of reminds me of.
I'm going to open up my beer now.
Yeah, this is what I actually see sometimes.
Oh, really?
So, but I can't make any sense of it.
Nice.
Okay, today's one.
Well, hold on, just because we cracked our beers, I'm excited about this one. I'm trying a new guy today. It's a Hamilton brewery called Collective Arts. If you've never had them, great stuff. This is a triple IPA, and this sucker, my friends, is 10%.
Holy! That'll land you on your ass.
That's impressive.
That's not a beer. That's a wine.
Well, I'm going to do it in shots, I think.
In shots. Get the glass out. Tap it twice.
All right. Today's lineup is we're going to mix things up a bit. Al, Victor, Tanya, Matt. So I'm going to start.
Selfish.
Last time you went first, I think it was a big derailment.
It was. So we're going to try it again.
How are you now?
All right. Here we go. My week. Let's see. What can we talk about my week? Something big happened this week. What happened this week? Yesterday, Tanya and I celebrated our 20th wedding anniversary.
Congrats, guys.
We got married when I was 10.
Yeah. That's
It was arranged.
It was arranged. Yeah. So
20 years just sounds so freaking old.
Yeah.
Is that dust? Is that
like
the commemorative gift?
Oh, did we look that up? What's 20 years? What's the gift for 20 years?
I looked it up for a gentleman would be pewter or I think it said pewter. And
pewter is a disaster. That thing tarnishes so quickly.
Yeah. So instead, I got Alan stainless steel kitchen appliances.
Yes. And I got Tanya quartz countertops.
Hopefully it was surgical.
Better than any jewelry. Awesome.
Yeah. So, and that's,
you guys are living the dream.
Yeah. I'll let Tanya talk about the other big piece of news. But next is Victor. Victor, how's your week?
It was good. I was actually, the reason I had the background behind me because I was ready to talk about my element collection, but then I was just the reason I disappeared off camera because I had a big derailment here. I had my paper towels fall all over my train here, and it derailed everything. And so I have to go and make sure that everything was all right. It isn't.
Are your trains running right now?
No, they weren't running. They were. I put them away so that when people are walking through the basement, they're not going to accidentally destroy it. And then I went and destroyed it.
Have you ever been? Have you ever been in that toy store that they have the train overhead and it's around the whole room? You need to do that.
Yeah, I was
New
thinking
project
of that.
for you.
It's not, but yeah, that would take a lot of work.
It would. Well, all you have right now is COVID time. So
yeah, I was going to say, I'm with you on that one, Tanya. You got nothing but time, bud.
So you're
No, I know. It's one of those things that like 10 years ago, I probably would have said, oh, that would be a fun project. Now I feel like, can I hire a contractor for that?
like, and even like maybe punch a hole through the wall and like have it go into the other room. That would be.
Oh yeah. No,
right?
I know. Yeah. I would be all over that. Right now, I'm just getting really started up with all this. So for now, I'm just having fun with the trains beside me. But yeah. Anyway, so I don't even know how my week was. I'm now looking forward to the news from Tanya. So let's pitter patter.
All right, Tanya, how was your week?
Let me just pause for a moment and say, we're done. We're done. Last contractor came through the door this morning.
I thought you were talking about you, Al.
I was like, wow, you guys are handling this well.
It has been
20 years. Okay, good.
Yeah, 20 years.
We're done.
Yeah.
We did it.
Yeah, we did it.
It was so good. Yeah.
I regret nothing.
Last contractor came through the door this morning. Insulation has been blown into the attic. We are sealed. We are cleaned up. We're on the move.
Yeah, we're moving upstairs. We've been eating in the new kitchen for a week now, and this weekend we're going to be moving our bedrooms back upstairs. So lots of work there, but good work, exciting work.
Yes,
nice. Congrats, guys. I know you've been stuck in the basement for a long time, so welcome back to the world.
Yes. Like to see that sunshine through the windows again.
How was your week, Matt?
It's been fun. Actually, one of my favorite things that I've been waiting for years finally happened this week.
What's that?
My old man, who's pushing 70 this year, finally found social media.
This is a good thing.
Huzzah.
Yeah. So out of nowhere, I think he's just run out of things to do during COVID life. So he set himself up a Facebook and an Instagram account and has fucking gone to town. Let me tell you.
The internet's got to him about the whole, what was it now? The Instagram. I haven't even found that yet.
Yeah, he's on and he's blowing it up.
Oh,
and at first it was kind of cute. And he was, he's very literal with a lot of things he does. Like he'll post a picture of myself and him and a couple others. He'll be like, son Matthew, me, friend John. Like he's like literally describes exactly what's going on. But then once in a while, and this is the stuff I'm excited for more of.
It sounds like he's archiving.
Yeah, it's exactly what he's doing. Yeah. I mean, he's posting everything, shit that probably shouldn't be posted, but he's loving it. And then we get gems like this. So just to set the stage, my parents went on a trip to Portugal last year.
Really?
Right before COVID hit the fan.
Yeah.
So they got to spend a couple weeks and just, I mean, it's like a somber side. They got stuck there when everything went into lockdown. Mm-hmm. And had to scramble along the thousands of people trying to get themselves home with the U.S. borders getting locked, everything. It was a real shit show, but ultimately they got home safely, and that was fine. But not without having this photo moment created. So to set the stage, it's a photo of my mother, and her name is Lee, looking very unimpressed with another older Portuguese lady and some lemons in the photo. and the story reads as the caption. Lee asked the Portuguese lady if she could enter the yard to take a picture of her lemon tree. The lady did not understand a word, but gave Lee 2 lemons. That's it. This is to me is pure gold. Like it's the most awkward thing to post on social media, but it made my absolute fucking day.
Well, I hope she went and made lemonade with those, but that's amazing. I don't know your parents went to Portugal. What part of Portugal did they go to?
Do
you know?
Fuck.
Lisbon, probably, or the Algarve?
No, the Algarve. Somewhere in the Algarve.
Faro?
Yeah, probably. All right, cool. That's awesome.
But anyways, that was fun. So now I'm looking forward to more gems from my father. Very literal and quite the storyteller, as it appears.
Is it a private account or can we follow him?
I'll give you a view of it later.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay, I just want to read you something very quickly because I remember somebody telling me a story about lemons and old folks.
Okay.
So it says, a lemon party refers to an early 2000s shock website featuring an image of 3 elderly men having sex.
What?
So
I'm just going to leave it out there.
That is not what Matt's father was sending him a picture of. I don't believe there was correlation. Can
feel
you?
like Matt right now would react like Riley when Shorzy chirps his mom. My mom's a saint.
This conversation's fast becoming a confrontation.
Wow. All right, let's move on to a word from our sponsor.
Well done, Victor.
Thank you.
Dennis Gugin is the owner and proprietor of Dennis Gugin's custom Funko Pop culture collectible vinyl figures. One of these days, I'll be able to get through that title without stumbling. If you don't know what a Funko Pop is, figure it out. For the rest of you, check out Dennis's work. He creates custom Funko Pop characters of anyone you can think of. Some of my favorites of his include Eddie Van Halen, Mike Tyson, Eminem, the entire cast of Letterkenny, and you. That's right. You can have your own custom Funko Pop of you or someone you love or hate if that's your kink. Either way, Dennis is your man. Check out his work on Facebook or Instagram at DG Pop Customs. Drop him a line if you're interested in a custom Funko Pop of your own. And Matt's showing a picture of the one that is that Jen? He's done Jen.
Yeah.
So, can't wait to receive ours. Matt's just holding up a picture of the ones that Dennis has made of him and his wife. They look amazing.
I'm giddy as shit over this. I'm not even going to lie.
I think we all are. I mean, when he showed me the pictures that he's working on of mine, I was just shocked.
It's great.
It's just incredible.
It's almost like having your own action figure, right? Like who would have thought? I mean... All right. Now, thank you, Dennis, for your support. And speaking of support, we have 12 new Twitter followers this week, manageable numbers. So let me get through these quickly. Matt Judy, Keysman19 from the Florida Keys, Ryan from Mount Pleasant, Michigan, Ace from the Ace and Alex podcast, Always Lost from Joshua Tree, California, Ryan Devlin, at Mansplaining from Washington, D.C., Davis from Colorado, Simone Desroches or Desroches, Becky Kathleen from Northeast England, This Ford Life 4x4, and Lauren. Thank you all for following us on Twitter and hopefully listening to the podcast.
Thank you. And actually, I was celebrating this week. I actually lost 2 followers this week, so it was a big week for me.
Oh,
What'd you do? Did you post something racist?
I don't know. I think it's all the Letterkenny content is forced out some of my older followers.
Yeah. You're gonna risk that, yeah.
That's okay. It's all worth it, man.
Yeah.
Well, don't bore us. Get to the chorus.
Last week, we reviewed episode 3 of season 3, Modine's 2. That episode got a fresh rating from Tanya and myself and a clearance from Matt and Victor. Twitter agreed with Tanya and me, by the way, 63.6%. How does it feel to be on the winning side?
oh man, that feels so good.
Widespread fraud, guys. Widespread fraud. That's all I'm saying.
They gave it a fresh, and 36.4% gave it a clearance. No compost on that one, so that was okay. This week we recap and review episode 4 of season 3, Les Hiques. So let's see. I've done my homework. Victor, have you done your homework?
I indeed have.
Tanya, have you done your homework?
I did my homework.
And Matt, have you done your homework?
I absolutely did. And actually, I forced my father-in-law to endure this episode with me as well. And I got some good laughs at him. So that was fun.
Really?
Nice.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Was this his first time watching an episode?
Never heard of it. Never seen anything. I basically said, listen, I have to do this. I mean, I enjoy doing it, but I'm like, I have to do this to prep for the cast tonight. So you're going to just sit through it. He's like, okay.
All right.
Is he okay with the subtitles?
Yeah, he was laughing, man. He got a real good kick out of it, which is great.
All right. Well, we start with the cold open. The Hiques are preparing for a fishing trip in Quebec, which they all love, except for Dary. He fucking hates Quebec. Katie has a flash snack to the last Quebec fishing trip they took when they overpacked the snacks. On the ride back, she had to sit between a family size of salt and Vinnies and a party pack of dill picklers.
Admittedly, last time things got a little out of whack when it comes to the snacks.
We deserve the flack, but now we're back on track.
We have a new plan of attack. Everything we pack has to fit in this sack.
We made a snack pack. All of these have to start with letter C, in fact.
A, stop rhyming. B, why C?
Well, we tried A,
Apples.
and we tried B.
Bananas.
But C gave us money choice option. Cookies, crackers, cheese, chocolates.
C. And then we're on to D, and so forth.
Love the D.
Pardon?
Why does jerky get to come?
It's caribou jerky.
What about the nuts?
Corn nuts.
And the beer?
Cold beer.
Cold beer. After a little more rhyming, Dary wants to tell a story of his trip to the Rippers with McMurray while Mrs. McMurray was at the casino with her pals. Katie was hurt she didn't get an invite, but Wayne cuts Dary off.
Tell us on the road. Let's go fishing.
I loves fishing in Quebec.
Who doesn't love fishing in Quebec?
Great fishing in Quebec.
I fucking hate Quebec.
Get this guy a fucking puppers.
Give me several puppers.
And cue the music. All right, so let's talk about this cold open. I'll start. The writing in this cold open is so much fun. It's so creative. And like not just because of the rhyming, but just everything about it. I loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun. It's kind of back and forth. It was fun. I really enjoyed it. Victor, what did you think?
Yeah, pretty much the same. It was fun. It was cute. It doesn't, I don't think it's as strong as some other cold opens, but there wasn't anything negative to say about it. It was fun and cute.
Yeah. I love the rhyming, the alphabet, and all that stuff, and of course setting up the whole Quebec fishing. Love fishing in Quebec. What did you think, Tanya?
I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was funny. I liked the rhyming. Exactly what you guys are saying. Yeah.
Did anybody catch Katie's little "I love D" comment?
Yeah, 100%.
So what was that though?
Dick.
Oh, Dick.
There you go.
She loves the dick.
Dr. Google.
Who can blame her?
So that was just funny when they were going through the alphabet. And they got to D, and she said, "I love the D." Just as Wayne's coming in, it was just the timing of it was pretty well done. Matt, what'd you think?
Yeah, I mean, I loved it. I mean, I agree. It wasn't the strongest one, but I think as I said, it's smart. It was. I love this sort of rhythmic choreography they do, and. Yeah. It just flows and you can't look away and you just get drawn into what they're saying. Because I mean, there are scenes in the show where I get lost too. I mean, I think we all do because everything happens very fast, but this one just flows so well. Mm-hmm. It's easy to follow along. It's just, I thought they nailed it. Like I really did.
The rhyming helps with following along.
Yeah, but they just even the banter back and forth. It was so like the timing and the comedic effort around it was so perfect. I was really impressed by this opening.
Yeah, it reminds me kind of like a John Hughes movie where the dialogue is kind of back and forth, quick and sharp. And just really smart.
Yeah, their timing was just go, and it was so good.
Yeah.
Cold beer.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. All right, scene one after the music. On the road to Quebec, the three male Hicks are out having a piss while Katie waits in the truck. Dary tries to start his Ripper story, but Wayne interrupts again, asking him to tell it when they get there. There's lots of time for telling stories when you're fishing. They all love fishing in Quebec, except for Dary, who fucking hates Quebec and everyone in it. Katie finally asks him to explain himself during the very long pissing session.
Well, for one thing, you can never tell what the hell they're saying half the time. That's for one thing.
Ignorance is bliss, bud.
Yeah, they should figure it out.
Maybe you should figure it out.
Okay, you try to name me one good guy that's a French guy. You try to name it. Go ahead and try.
Oh, I bet Corey Hart's a pretty good guy.
I'm not sure that he's a French guy.
You trust somebody to wear sunglasses at night?
Hey, name me another French guy that's a good guy. Go ahead and try.
Well, what's about that guy from the Alien show?
Third Rock from the Sun?
That's the one.
John Lithgow.
Nope.
French Stewart.
Yeah, that's the one.
He's not French.
Well, his name is French.
You guys squints too much.
Oh, they can take a walk, the whole lot of them.
So, a lot to go. So, would you?
I didn't know Corey Hart was from Quebec. I actually had to Google it. I fact checked that one. I'm like, oh fuck, he is.
Yeah, he's from Quebec. My favorite line there is Wayne saying French Stewart squints too much.
So I missed that whole conversation because
What do you mean?
I just kept on thinking and wondering if she could see their dicks. And I was like, okay, I'm like, are they peeing? Like, what are they doing? And I didn't hear the background sound of the pee. And I thought they're so set up in a sequence and there's the three of them and she's talking directly at them. And I'm thinking, is she going to like
That's a good point.
glance
One of
down?
which was her brother.
What's going on? I know.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little weird. I thought it was weird.
So like Katie, you were distracted with the D.
So distracted with the D.
By the D. The triple D, actually.
Triple D.
Katie thinks there's something much...
I was like, let's move along, guys.
All right. Katie thinks there's something much deeper at play here. Dary's about to elaborate, but Wayne cuts him off as he finally zips up. And there's a lot of time for telling stories when you're going fishing. Next scene, the Hiques arrive.
I'm sorry. Pause.
Yeah.
Why are they zipping up their coats?
Well,
they're onesies.
Are they?
I guess.
Because I'm like, what does the coat have to do with the pee?
Well, they're long coats, so they probably had to.
Well, they're wearing for the most part. They're wearing snowboarding, or not snowboarding, snowmobile suits.
Okay, all right.
So which those are typically one pieces,
I
and
just thought
actually
that was
a lot of them have flotation in them as well. So if they ever fall through the ice, they stay afloat.
Huh.
Fun fact.
I did not know that. Thank you for teaching me something new today.
Yeah, thanks.
I hope you're not
from
experience.
No.
All right, next scene. The Hiques arrive in Quebec. As they walk toward the lake, pulling their toboggan with their supplies, Katie asks Dary about his story. Dary asks which one. Squirrely Dan wants to hear the Ripper story, but Katie wants to know why he hates the French. Wayne clarifies, says that Dary doesn't hate the French. He loves them, and that's his problem. He loves French girls, but hates that they don't love him.
Well, every time there's a French gal I kind of like, I have a real hard time explaining to her that I kind of like her because she only speaks French. And I'm not a good enough looking dude to get by on just my looks.
Aw, Dary.
This guy fucking poppers.
And if there's like an English gal I kind of like, but there's a French dude around, you know she's going home with a French dude because English gals love French dudes.
Can confirm.
English dudes love French gals.
Can confirm.
That's why they can take a walk, the whole lot of them.
So now that we know that story, Squirrely Dan wants to hear his Ripper story.
Oh, okay. Okay, so me and McMurray went to the Rippers the other night, and then there was a stripper, and her name was All Anus Morissette.
I loves it when they do variations on real people's names, like Avril Vagine.
Nelly Furtado.
Alec Baldwin.
Okay, yeah, but All Anus Morissette.
Smelling the genitals.
Oh, Meryl Streep.
Hannibal Lecter.
Dongie Darko.
Count Dracula.
Oh, that's a fun one, too, because it lends itself to good costumes. And that's just so camp.
Yeah, but no, but
All Anus Morissette.
Then, the Hiques jubilation is interrupted by faraway laughter. There's a group of French people.
Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
I can't. Am I the only one who, like, honestly, in the scene like that, I'm laughing more, not even what Dary's saying, but how excited he is before he says it. Like, his giddiness as he's trying to get the words out are where I'm, like, crying laughing. Because that would be me. Like,
him just laughing makes you laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's contagious.
It's hilarious. Just then the Hiques jubilation is interrupted by faraway laughter. There's a group of French people already on the lake. They're having a great time and being very loud. Next scene at the hockey rink. Riley and Jonesy enter the dressing room. They're drinking something red. One of the seniors asks them what it is.
Shred the red, boys.
Shred the red, boys. Less meals, all wheels.
Protein powder program. Meal suppies. Boys.
Meal sketty looks like this, boys. Breakfast, shreddies. Lunch, shreddy the reddies. Dinner, spaghettis.
Just then, both Riley and Jonesy feel an immediate urge to hit the toilet. Shoresy's in the next cubicle, and he gives Riley and Jonesy their usual medicine.
Fuck my entire fucking life. If you tit fuckers light a match in here, the whole fucking barn's going up. Give your balls a tug.
And that was
Please do not play the sound clip. I was like, oh, it was disgusting.
That was hard to watch. That was a hard.
Oh, it was disgusting. Oh,
yeah. I opted to
coming from the two people who loved Fart Book.
Skip.
You missed the point of Fart Book.
All right. Next scene at the Skids hideout.
We don't get the show. So.
Yeah, right. That's right. We don't get the show. At the Skids hideout, Roald voices his concern to Stuart about their new member. He doesn't trust her. FACU's new mission is labeled Operation Gay. Their objective is to find a way to get Gay back in the cité. Stuart draws out the plans of their first operation, which is to create mailbox mayhem. Stuart's drawing resembles a large penis on the whiteboard map, pointing in the direction of where they're going to dump their load. Gay and Rolled.
I completely missed that. What?
This is where we're going to dump our load, and he draws like.
Did you miss? Is that you seriously? Did you even watch the scene?
So you were
I have to
distracted by
rewatch that.
the dicks in the first scene.
And she didn't even notice the big one
right in front of your face.
20 years. This is what happens, guys.
The one right in front of your face. Oh dear.
Oh, fuck,
I'm gonna watch that again. I was just like, why is he making such a mess of the map? Like, that is the worst.
The map was being invaded by a.
I'm like, that is the worst, like, detail of a map. I'm completely missed. I have to go back and look for the deck.
Yeah.
And then the load. It's like
and then this is where we're going to dump the load.
I have to see that.
Gay and Roll look at each other, but choose not to engage. Then
Is she for real, Al?
Oh my god, I was tired.
You can't write the stuff.
Yeah, we were tired. Gay has reservations about the operation. Stealing mailboxes is a federal crime. Pull yourself together.
Tanya's thinking, I gotta go see this thing now.
I so do. I'm going upstairs after this.
Stuart asked her if she's scared. She says she isn't, and then she flicks Stuart in the sack. Did you catch that part where she?
Yes, I did get that.
Was that flirting?
No, I don't know what. Yeah, maybe. He had the audacity of asking her whether she was afraid of. All right. The best part of the plan is that
was.
The best part of the plan is the Hicks will assume the destruction will have been caused by Tanis and the natives. The Skids recite their mantra: "I hate the world. I hate my parents. I hate myself." Except instead of saying "I hate myself" at the end, Rold shouts, "I hate gay." And next scene 5, back in on the lake in Quebec, the Hicks are sitting on one end quietly drinking and fishing and glaring over at their French counterparts who are still hooting and hollering and laughing, causing general disturbance. Dary yells over at them to quiet down. The French Hicks don't understand what their problem is. They carry on even louder. Then Squirrely Dan has a turn.
Hey! He said simmers down, so simmers down! Why don't you go eat some tartars, you snail-sucking mime lovers?
The French Hick leader, we'll call him French Wayne, says he doesn't know what they're saying, but there ain't no reason to get excited. And there's a callback to season 1, episode 1. Dary yells back that he doesn't know what they're saying, but demands that they turn their music down. Says he'd rather listen to Celine Dion. The French Hicks hear Celine's name spoken in a hostile tone, and they stand up. Nobody speaks Celine's name in a hostile tone. She's a national treasure, an angel. They love her like they love their own mothers. French Wayne turns to French Squirrely Dan to clarify that Roche Voisin is also very talented, and they all agree. Wayne's getting really tired of this, and he says,
What do they say about arguing with idiots?
They'll drag you down to their level and beat you with experience.
Over and out. I could be helpful here, fellas.
Yeah, we got this. We got this.
Dary takes another shot, says he still doesn't understand what they're saying, but they're saying it in a hostile tone now, and no one speaks to them in a hostile tone. French Wayne says that he sees that they have a beautiful woman with them. This gets Wayne's attention. French Wayne continues to say in French, so I guess that makes one in the entire freaking province of Ontario. And they go on to say that the most beautiful women are French women, and they wouldn't know what to do with a French woman. Dary still doesn't know what the fuck they're saying, but other than Georges St. Pierre, every French man is a fucking pussy.
That's fair.
The French Hick tells them to go listen to Bryan Adams in Saskatoon, you loser. The two sides go back and forth with Canadian stereotype retorts like, go listen to Bryan Adams in Saskatoon, you loser, or to a poutine festival in Thetford Mines, or rodeo in Moose Jaw Cowboy, or go canoeing in Three Rivers. And then finally in English, French Squirrely Dan tells him to go eat a Nanaimo bar in Kamloops.
I fucking know what that means.
I love Nanaimo bars.
Because you do pot.
And why'd you go savagely force feed a duck and then enjoy your foie gras in a sugar shack, Trudeau?
Why don't you go snowshoe to the Bell Center to watch back-to-back sold-out Simple Plan shows, then go eat some Montreal smoked meat, you bagel-munching rope pissers!
Then the French Hicks continue now with some food-related insults, followed by weird sounds they make at the end of each sentence as punctuation.
Un petite crête? Ou un bœuf bourguignon? Ouais? Veux-tu de la ratatouille? On en a!
They end on something about coq au vin, which Squirrely Dan horribly misinterprets it.
Yeah, you're a cock on a vine.
You know what, Dan? Sit down.
Wayne
Scene is so fucking gold.
Wayne finally.
But hold on.
Yeah.
I wanted to stop for 1 sec.
Yeah.
To back up a bit, Nanaimo bars. I love them. I'm sure you love them. If you don't, something's wrong with you. But is that a strictly Canadian thing, or would our listeners in the U.S. or anywhere else know what a Nanaimo bar is?
That's a good question. I don't know.
One moment, please.
Yeah. Well,
Having a Google on that.
They've got the internets.
They've got
yeah.
But
they're delicious. I hope you guys have experienced it. Maybe you call it something else. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we call it a Nanaimo bar.
Yeah, they're very.
Anyways, carry on.
I think they call them freedom bars.
Free.
Well done.
Oh boy. All right. Wayne finally speaks up with an observation.
You know, this one's off the beaten path a wee bit, but you ever notice how French people go at the end of a sentence?
Yeah, I've noticed that. French people do that all the time. At the end of a sentence, they go,
I don't know if I follows.
Well, like if you were an English person going at the end of a sentence, like French people go at the end of a sentence, the sentence would probably be something like, you get so drunk some nights you piss the bed, but other nights you get so stoned you can't piss at all. So
yeah, or like your guy says sex isn't good anymore, and you're like, well, how do you think I feel? All you put into it is your dick.
you want to know what's kind of fun to make fun of them for? Is if right after they go, you go.
Do that again? So like, you like having casual sex because he gives you some good, but at the end of the day, he doesn't give you a goddamn, so...
Okay, I know a few people from Quebec. I don't think I've ever heard somebody end a sentence with.
No,
I've totally heard it.
Have you
really?
Yeah.
Oh, so this is inspired from true events.
Yeah,
it has to be.
I thought this was just something they made up for the show because I've never, honestly, I don't think I've ever heard somebody from Quebec do that.
No, I haven't. Okay, so but I'm gonna circle back. The
Nanaimo?
Yes, that bar is actual. It's a Canadian thing, and it's very obscure to find the ingredients in the United States because it's a custard powder in the middle, I guess. Anyways, just circle back to that.
Yeah, for me, the thing that kind of stood out is that they couldn't think of anybody except George St. Pierre, and how they couldn't think of a single hockey player. There's so many iconic French hockey players, whether it's Maurice Richard or Jacques Plante or
none of them are
Guy Lafleur or whatever. Like I just feel like there was a bit of a slight there.
No, none of them are tougher than George St. Pierre. Come on.
Yeah,
agreed. He's the toughest.
Oh wait, George Larocque.
No,
he's pretty tough.
No, Georges St. Pierre would twist every one of those guys up into a pretzel.
Yeah, they don't have interest in hockey. They're looking for tough, and Georges St. Pierre is of the toughest.
That's right. Squirrely Dan gets one last shot in at the French Hicks.
And you know what else? None of you knows where to put the S's in your goddamn sentences. So why don't you go get tricked by a just for laugh gags before you have to hold a referendum to separate my foot from your ass?
Man, they just go after everything.
Oh, it's so brilliant.
I'm wondering, so Ontario Quebec relations are pretty tense. Do any of the other provinces have the same kind of relationship with another province, or is it just Ontario Quebec?
No, it's just to my knowledge, it's just Ontario, Quebec, and it's it's really Ontario versus Canada, or Quebec versus Canada.
Yeah, but even thing, like, right? But I remember the first time we went into Quebec, I might as well have been driving. I would have been better off not having Ontario plates because we weren't treated very well when we were there.
No. But my experience with Quebec is if you don't speak French, you're not treated, depending where you are. But in a lot of places, if you don't speak French, that's where the line drops.
Sure. It's funny because I tried, right? Like when we went over there, I was trying, with my grade 9 French, my best grade 9 French, I was making the effort to speak to people there and nothing until we got to Montreal. Then Montreal was great, because everyone there speaks English.
Montreal, they just stick an English menu in front of your face as soon as they know you're English, and they don't need you to try.
So I'm wondering, I'd like to hear from other people, from other parts in Canada. I know that lately there's been a little bit more tension between Ontario and Alberta, but are there any other provinces that have that kind of hatred to each other?
Well,
compared
there's no bigger hockey rivalry. I can't say that word, except on the same scale as Calgary and Edmonton.
Right, but they're provincial rivals, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and probably city rivals too, because they are kind of close and they're two major cities in Alberta. But in terms of just kind of like if you're from Ontario and you go into Quebec, you get treated a certain way that I'm not sure you get treated that way anywhere in any other province in Canada.
Yeah. Oh, they're a little unique, right? I mean, when you have a referendum of trying to be your own country, you kind of create.
How long ago?
Bit of a different thing.
Yeah, it was like 30 years ago, but
but it's happened more than once.
Yeah,
It's 30 years ago, but the sentiment hasn't gone away.
No,
right. Yeah,
there's still a large, very, very large faction that believes that.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong,
separatists are still very big there.
Yeah.
And there's still many people who feel they should be their own country. And
yeah. And don't get me wrong, I love Quebec, like Montreal, love going to Montreal. Quebec City is probably my favorite city in Canada. Like
it's on our list. I put it on the list last night. I said, you know what? When COVID's done, we're going to Quebec City.
Yeah, for sure. I love going
I know
to
you
Quebec.
can't see it, but this photo behind us here, that's myself and the family in Quebec City on top of the hill looking down at Chateau Frontenac. And I agree, it's one of the most beautiful, most amazing cities in the entire country.
Yeah, we've been there many times. We always stay in Old Quebec. I mean, it's one of the it's right up there on them. Oh, and well, no, actually, I was going to say give them credit for some, but
How dare
we
you,
love to eat there. Like it's one of my it's one of my favorite places to dine. I just love the food, and the people are great too. I mean, it's a lot of it is very cliche. Like the things. The thing is, you'll have 10 really good experiences and one negative experience, whereas you go somewhere else and you'll just have 11 good experiences, right?
Sure.
So there's that. It just most of the time, most of the people are good and polite and all that kind of stuff. But
for sure. Yeah,
those incidents do stand out.
Yeah, some of those incidents it was also outside of the cities that we got some of that treatment as opposed to like in Montreal, in Quebec City. It was great. Scene number 6, Riley and Jonesy are finally done in their business in the bathroom.
Oh, that was a big turd period for
Gotta have the big turd, buddy.
It's like the penalty shit, bro.
Finally got the poo replay clicking, bro.
Almost had to shit the game.
Too many poo minute penalties.
They asked the seniors if they want to shred the red. They all decline, except for Boomtown, who downs a bottle to chants of "Shred the red, shred the red." He's very excited. Scene number 7: the Skids go on their mailbox rampage, and it's just a montage scene of them destroying mailboxes to French hip hop.
Did you got to find? Did you capture the song that was playing in the background? I really dug it.
Yeah,
like,
it's a
whatever
cool
that
song.
music was, it was pretty epic.
And apparently,
I was going to scold you like you scolded me last time. It's on Spotify.
it is on our Spotify.
I don't
playlist.
have Spotify, man.
Well, then you suck.
I have something you don't have.
What is that?
So, and apparently the scene is modeled after, I guess, a scene in Clockwork Orange, where it's kind of like a similar scene. It's been a long time since I've seen Clockwork Orange, so I can't say with certainty. But it's it's one of those scenes: baseball bats, mailboxes, and they're just general mayhem.
I didn't like it.
Yeah. Scene 8.
I didn't like it. Yeah.
Scene 8, back at the Quebec Lake, hostilities have died down. Dary can't get over how hot French Katie is.
She is hot. I'm pretty sure the French word for hot is show. I'd like to show her something.
Why don't you invite her to the chaise lounge, Dary?
I would. I won't be able to understand what she's saying half the time. I'm not a good enough looking guy to get by on just my looks.
Oh, Dary.
Cheer up, Dary. Despite those frogs whose wives can't even take their last names.
Pretty sure they don't use middle names over there either. Oh, middle name's 2015.
No, it's not.
I loves fishing in Quebec.
Who doesn't love fishing in Quebec?
Oh, it's great fishing in Quebec. I fucking hate Quebec. This guy fucking puppers.
Just then, a fish lands in front of the Hicks. The French Hicks toss it at them, saying it was for them since their provincial government has fucked it all up. This is the last straw. Wayne stands up and he delivers his retort. The French Hicks take off on their sleds. Dary's sad to see French Katie go. C9, back at the arena, the hockey players take the ice for practice, but they don't get too far because the red has hit their lower intestines. It seems the rest of the seniors have had some red as well, and they're all in distress, including Boomtown.
I'm ready to get the let out. I'm ready to... Wait. I shit my pants too. I'm sorry.
This is on you, you little bitch.
Oh, man.
Oh, thank you for not playing the whole thing.
No, yeah.
Oh God.
I thought you would appreciate
I can't
that.
stomach that. Oh, man.
Scene 10. After our keg dinner last night, I guess not. By the way, so for our anniversary, we got keg takeout.
Nice.
So, a nice big steak dinner.
Oh, it's lovely.
We didn't have room for the Billy Miner pie, and thank God we didn't do it because after watching this episode 10, you probably wouldn't be able to.
So hold on. Do you still have the pie?
It's in the
freezer.
Yeah, we're gonna.
All right,
have
I'll
it.
be coming by soon.
You too can order it for $9.
Is the keg?
I don't need to order it. It's sitting. I know where it is.
Is the keg a Canadian thing too? I don't know. Are there kegs in the States?
I don't believe so. Actually,
I think it might be Canadian.
I worked for the keg for 3 years when I was younger.
Really?
Then you should know the answer to this.
Yeah.
No, I think it's just a Canadian company. It's amazing steakhouse.
It is really good, and the service is so good. Like we had the curbside pickup, and I just basically parked, called the number, and in like 2 minutes, a guy was out with my food. He actually placed it in my car. I didn't have to get out or anything, and it was so quick and easy. Too bad they're so bloody expensive, or else we'd be ordering from the keg every
That
week.
might be our Christmas dinner.
Yeah, maybe. All right, scene 10. The Skids reflect on their outing of chaos. Rold has a boo-boo on his finger, so Gay seizes the opportunity by pricking her own finger and Stuart's as well, and creating a three-way blood pact while reciting their mantra. I hate the world, I hate my parents, I hate myself.
Gross. Can we just say gross?
This time, Rold joins in for the whole chant. Perhaps Gay is growing on him. Okay, you've never done a blood thing when you were a kid?
No.
I have never done a blood thing when I was a kid.
No?
Okay, what do you have to tell me, Alan?
Oh, I don't remember if I did, but it seems like it was something that we did as kids. I don't know.
No.
Matt, you're being very quiet.
I can neither confirm nor deny. I did some stupid shit when I was younger. This may have fallen in there somewhere, but
I can't remember either, but I do remember like it being a thing. Scene 11, back on the Quebec lake, the Hicks are packing up their stuff after an unsuccessful fishing trip.
What a bust.
Pretty pedestrian effort, Super Chieftains.
Only fish we caught was the one Coq Cousteau tossed over at us.
Fucking hate that. I can't catch a break here.
just
Squirrely Dan.
Just then, a bunch of sleds. Okay, settle down, people. We can get to the discussion after. Just then, a bunch of sleds ride up. It's the Degens from Upcountry.
No ostrich fuckers in Quebec, Hicks.
Well, we are way the fucks outnumbered, bud.
It's not how many you win, it's how many you show up for.
Then a French voice is heard from behind the Degens. It's the French Hicks. They too hate Degens from Upcountry. The two sets of Hicks exchange an annoying glance, and the music starts. Both sets of Hicks fight the Degens. The two Katies watch and comment on how hot each other's brother is, and then they share a joint. Upon winning the fight, the Hicks, both from Ontario and Quebec, help each other up, share smokes, and shake hands. Scene 12, nighttime on the lake in Quebec. Everyone is sitting around a fire drinking beer. The two Hick leaders finally speak to each other.
Do you speak English?
Oui. Yes. Toi, tu parles français?
Yes. Oui. Je suis désolé, je parle un petit peu français, mais Je veux essayer.
No problem. Of course. Mais on va parler français.
Bon.
Bon scrap.
Well, it's best to avoid a scrap when you're going fishing. But you hate Degens from upcountry too, huh?
The French Wayne says if they think English Degens from upcountry are bad, they should meet French Degens from upcountry. Wayne asks where exactly is upcountry in Quebec. French Wayne responds, Laval. Dary discusses the lesson he's learned.
My whole life, I've hated the French. You can't understand what they're saying half the fucking time. And I couldn't land one of your beautiful women if my life depended on it. As far as I'm concerned, yous can take a walk, the lot of yous. But then yous had our back today.
Yeah.
I loves me fishing in Quebec.
Who doesn't love fishing in Quebec?
Great fishing in Quebec.
I fucking love Quebec.
Here, here.
Cheers. Salut.
Santé. Merci, mes amis.
Thank you.
And then the French Katie turns to Dary and introduces herself as Monique. She thinks Dary's really good looking.
I was looking at you and I see you look at me, so.
You speak English.
Pretty much everyone in Quebec does.
Wow.
Do you like Alanis Morissette?
Way. And fade to black. And that was the episode. All right. Since I put myself at the beginning of this lineup, I guess I start. Let's see. Surprise, I loved the episode. I thought it was great. I thought it was a lot of fun. And I really liked the message in this one. The Hiques from two provinces that, historically don't get along. They hate each other, and there's preconceived notions. There's lots of stereotypes are thrown around, but really they're the same. And the language barrier, the misunderstanding, the misinterpreting of what each group intends led almost to fights. And instead, they found out that they have more in common than they have different. So I really enjoyed the message in this, and I thought the episode overall was strong. What did you think, Victor?
I generally enjoyed the episode, but I think it suffered a similar fate for me as the previous episode did. And, the Hiques storyline, there's not much to fault with it. It was generally enjoyable. It was very witty and whimsical, and the ending was like a huge win. Just like, again, with the previous episode, I felt the ending was awesome, like on easily a fresh scale and ending. I just had troubles with the other two storylines. The hockey storyline just it was not my jam, and the
not your red
and not my jam. Nah. and the skid storyline, I just felt like it was. I didn't like the violence because it wasn't funny. It wasn't. I just didn't like it. I know that they were trying to do the Clockwork Orange thing with the hat and the thing, but I don't know. I almost felt sorry for the mailboxes. I don't know.
But it was such a small part of the episode. I mean,
I know, but it's the other. No, I know, but I mean, just generally, I like Gay the character, but I'm not connecting with the storyline. I just feel like she's too old for that storyline. That storyline just doesn't work for me. Yeah. Like that they're all working together to get her back to, like, you're an adult. Yeah. Like what's happening here?
It's funny. So I was listening to
do whatever the hell you want to do.
I was listening to
live wherever the hell you want to live.
I was listening to How Are You Now podcast with Dean and Tiara. And they made because I listened to theirs after ours so that we're not copying them, but I just just to get their impression. And for once, they were a little critical of that episode, of the last episode as well, bringing up the same issue, saying how old is Gay? Why is she not worried about her parents when she seems to be old enough to be on her own and stuff. So they agree with you as well. Dan?
The good was good. The good was great. Mm-hmm. but the bad was bad. I really agree with Victor. It was really hard to stomach the whole hockey guys. Oh my God, that was bad. That was bad. And the skids were terrible. And I felt bad for and especially the mailbox that was like the really nice mailbox. Those are expensive. I kind of, I fell into like that
inanimate objects.
I know, but I was like the expense of those and the like how mortified I would be that I put such heart into my mailbox and some stupid kid has come around and just hit. No, I didn't like
That's
it.
the whole point, though. The skids are misbehaving. That's the story.
If that was your mailbox, they 100% accomplished their goal.
But whenever they've misbehaved
I don't like it, goddammit.
No. Yeah, but whenever they've misbehaved before, they misbehave in a funny kind of comedy kind of way. You know, the whole correcting the sign with the spelling and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a gateway drug to destroying mailboxes.
No, that was like, no, again.
Before they were mischievous, now they were just hoodlums.
They were just stupid. I didn't like them. I like the whole blood thing, the whole flicking of the dick, the whole, like, I didn't like the last one I loved. I gave it a fresh. I did like Gay. I liked the introduction of her. I loved having another person in the mix of that. I loved the banter, but this one was just, it fell short. It was not my,
I'll say Rold was great in this episode. I thought he was a lot of fun in this episode.
But the good was good. I loved everything else that happened.
Matt?
Yeah. So we're gonna have some words at some point here in this episode. But I mean, here's I'm gonna echo Al for the most part in this one. This was a fun one, and I think you took the words out of my mouth a lot. It's like there was a lot of good symmetry in here to what goes on in the world around the cultural differences. I mean, yes, they're using provincial differences, but it's no different than any culture clash that's out there and the misunderstanding. Because you look, even when they're sitting there and they first sat down, the French guys didn't give a shit. Like even when they started yelling at them, they were like, "What's these guys' problem?" Like, they didn't care.
Yeah.
The only thing that changed it was the tone, and they all emphasized on tone, and then just escalated things from there. When really no one had any idea what the fuck was going on. And then when you push come to shove, at the end of the day, they are the same people. They're the same beliefs. They're it's a very interesting thing. So I thought that message came across really strong, really clear. I loved it. The banter in this episode was so good.
Strong. Yeah,
right from that even that opening, sort of like I said, rhythmic choreography that did at the opening, the back and forth. I mean, being a proud Canadian, the riddling of stereotypes and stuff. I mean, some of them are so spot on, and they really are, and it's so fun. It's how people think, and we just can relate to so much of it. I mean, I had fun. But when you talk about some of the other storylines as well, I'm okay with those. The skids, it's getting a little dark, but again, that's sort of the road they're going right now. They're trying to figure themselves out without Devin. They've got this new character, Gay, who's in them, and they're going down this weird ways. I feel like Stewart's trying to prove himself and the group right or wrong in this way, and we'll see how it pans out. But I'm okay with how it's going. And that scene where they're smashing mailboxes, there's certain things I hang on to with different things. So like I said, in this case, it was the music. Although they didn't speak and they're being very destructive, I thought the music was so well fitted for that scene that it just hooked me, and I couldn't look away. So I enjoyed that. And then you look at the hockey players. It was gruesome. It was gross to hear, but again, I've said again, I have a mindset of a 5-year-old when it comes to this kind of shit. So I laughed, but it was still good banter, and they're still as a team trying to regroup, trying to find their groove again. So using this energy drink and doing what they can to try to get those W's. I mean, they're trying whatever they can, and Riley and Jonesy really want the team to succeed. So it didn't really work in this case, but I see what they're doing. So, I mean, there's just a lot of good going on this episode, and I really appreciated it.
If they were going to hand out the employee of the week on this episode, it would be the sound engineer on this episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just the reaction that he evokes from some of that potty stuff. And
I don't know. I would give it to the camera guy who had to do the overhead shot of the shitters.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty good too. Yeah, you're right. The sound engineer and the camera guy. Yeah.
Oh, come on, the squeakers and while they're like they're in their full outfits. It's just like, oh God.
Just watching this, what always kind of strikes me is how much of our differences or how much misunderstanding happens because of a language barrier. And it reminds me of a story, and hopefully Tanya doesn't mind me sharing, but just when we were first early on dating, and I was over at her place, I was probably, a teenager calling home to see if I needed or to say that I was going to stay over for dinner. And I was speaking to my mom in Portuguese, and her mom was like, "What's he saying? What's he saying about us?" And she's like, "No, Mom, he's just telling his mom that he's staying over for dinner." Like, so immediately, like, because
paranoia,
the paranoia, I don't understand what you're saying, so you must be saying something nefarious, or your intentions must be bad. Same thing. You're right. The French Hicks, all they were doing was having fun and carrying on. And in the first little while, they were laughing about whatever Dary and Squirrely Dan were saying to them until they invoked Celine Dion, and then the gloves were off. But yeah, I thought the messaging there was pretty cool, because I can kind of relate to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll start with ratings, and I'll go first. And I mean, I'm going to give this one a fresh again because I really enjoyed it. I thought the message was great, and I thought the writing was solid. The skid storyline, it is what it is. It's their path toward into darkness, and the hockey storyline was throwaway, but it was fun. It was funny and a lot of full of a potty humor, but I didn't mind it. I think the rest of it was strong enough to bring it up. So it's a low fresh, but to me it's still a fresh. Victor?
So for me, I feel like all the glee in Matt's tone as he was talking about the episode was really all about the Hicks storyline, and then he kind of felt he had to defend the other two stories, and just like so I think we're all in agreement here about what was great about this episode. So for me, because I'm going to rate this as a judge and not as a fan, right? If I'm rating it as a fan, I'd say it's like you look the other way and you kind of you look beyond the flaws and stuff like that, and and you're a fan, right? But I'm going to rate it like as if I was on Blades of Glory or whatever. And
that's what you went with?
You could have gone with like any other show, but you went with that. Okay. You're such a Canadian.
So
remember
by the way, first season of Blades of Glory was brilliant. Tai Domi figure skating, I'll pay to watch that any day of the week. But go on, Victor. Go on.
That's a Canadian Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
Our non-Canadian listeners have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah. It's basically NHL players paired up with figure skaters, and it's Dancing with the Stars, but on ice.
It's Canadian Dancing with the Stars.
Hilarious.
It was pretty fun. When
season one was great. After that, I didn't care.
Yeah, it got old. Yeah. Anyway, so if this episode was all about the Hicks and we didn't have the other two storylines, I would have to give it a fresh. Mm-hmm. I just would, because it's brilliant. It was great from beginning to end. But because there are these two other storylines, and Tanya, I think, was spot on. I mean, they were terrible. The hockey storyline, yeah, Matt, I guess they're still trying. They're trying, right? They're trying and failing miserably, but they're trying. But I mean, it was hard to watch. It was hard to watch. It was silly and goofy.
It was hard to listen to. Yes,
it was hard to listen to. It was hard to watch.
Grow up, Victor.
But I was just thinking, because I was thinking, are they going to have a shower afterwards? Because ain't enough toilet paper in those stalls to help them out. And then the other thing is, as they were walking out, I was thinking, are they going to fist bump? Because I wish they would have showed them at least washed their hands.
I was my thought there was, holy, the shitters are so close to the rest of the change room. Like all that smell has got to be wafting over to the change room.
Oh yeah, the whole thing was a little toxic.
Matt, I got to ask you something. You watched it with your father-in-law. What did he say during those scenes?
He didn't say much. He just laughed. I mean, it did get a little. It's been so long since I've watched this episode, so I didn't realize this is the one I was exposing him to. But he took it in stride. He was laughing. He didn't say anything negative, but. Yeah, I mean, maybe he's got a same sense of humor as me. I don't know, but it went fine.
Oh, all right. Sorry, Victor. Well, your rating. Go ahead.
So I have to give it a clearance for this one because I have to rate the entire episode. So it's definitely not a compost, but for me it's an easy clearance.
Okay, 10.
Hello. Deep in thought. Okay, so totally not a compost.
Okay, good.
That one's out.
Got that out of the way. And not an incinerator either.
I was completely ready to give it a clearance. And then Matt made me second guess myself. Look at him smiling right now. You know what? The writers did a great job. The sound guy did a great job.
He did.
They absolutely made me feel sick to my stomach and want to vomit.
So yeah, Victor, you have to look at this. Their intention is to be disgusting, and they succeeded.
They absolutely. I really wanted to retch and vomit with all the sounds that it was a terrible, but it invoked that feeling. So for that reason, they did a great job for that. I loved the ending.
Yes, it was a good ending.
And you guys have talked me into a fresh.
Ooh, nice.
I was completely ready to do a clearance because I agree with Victor. It was just the bad was bad, the good was good. But you know what? You guys have swayed me, and I agree now. Okay,
honey,
I'll give it to you. The math for me doesn't make sense because it's two bad and one good. Two bad stories, one good story. And Al, you can I guess make the argument that you're making that was their point. But for me, fine, whatever. But then then there's another storyline that doesn't work. And then for me, it doesn't work on two levels. We discussed one of them, that the whole gay backstory of gay doesn't work for me. There's something broken about that. But that's not a fault of the episode. That's a fault of the character.
Sure.
So I'm not gonna fault the.
They've committed to this character now. So
they've committed to it. So it is what it is. So it's fine. I'm not taking marks off for that. What I didn't like is just the violence without the fun, right? And the music was spot on. It was great. And if you love Clockwork Orange, that would have resonated with you and stuff like that. But this show is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be feel good. It's supposed to be, and that there was nothing when I saw them destroying those mailboxes, especially that really nice one, I kind of felt like, come on,
okay,
stop that,
Victor and Tanya.
But I think they were trying to
hold on.
They're trying to invoke that feeling.
Yeah, mailboxes do not have feelings.
But it was really nice.
You don't need to feel bad for the mailbox.
Are you too old to be watching this?
I did. I felt very bad for the mailbox.
I'm going to start to agree with our 1-star review. We don't get it.
I'm very materialistic.
I am a country girl. I grew up in the country.
He says as he's holding up his
and we had some really nice mailboxes. Mailboxes are important and they're expensive.
Oh man,
there's value. It's not a feeling; it's a value.
Okay, we got a fresh from Tanya. Let's move on. Matt. What say you?
So this is absolutely 100% fresh.
Right.
Like honestly, I mean, so thank you, Tanya. I'm glad you came around to your senses. I really appreciate that.
You know what? I'm tired and I'm weak and I may be a little intoxicated at the moment. Yeah. So I may change my mind next week. But
no, but I think what you
You've
said
weakened
made sense. Is why I feel passionate about this, because the things that happened are intentional. Like, you're supposed to be gross at, and the thing of the mentality, you got Riley and Jonesy at the helm right now. These guys are idiots. You don't have high expectations of them. So this is kind of the extent that they're going to get to try to bring them back. And so this is what I expect from them. Even the skit, like, I think, Victor, what you just said around how they're like all over the map. This gay character, they don't know how it's fitting. They're kind of off on a tangent. They're a hot mess of a group to begin with. The kids, you know, their methods, they're all over the fucking place. Nothing makes sense to them. Nothing they do really makes sense. So I love that they're trying to create something within their realm, even if it is a disaster. So I think the storylines that they're creating for these groups, even though in some may feel like a throwaway, actually make a lot of sense. And they're pushing their story forward. Yes, the main story here was the Hiques. It was brilliant. There wasn't a single thing I didn't like about that. But even with these side stories, it only represented maybe 15% of the total episode. I thought still drove those stories forward in ways that made sense for those groups. So for me, 100% fresh. I loved everything about this episode. They're really, like, from the music, the dialogue, the banter, I just loved it. I really did. So it's absolutely a high fresh for me.
All right, let's move on to our top fives here. Does this knock anyone's top five? I'll start with myself, and no, it doesn't. I gave it a fresh, but all my top fives are fresh. And this one here, the writing is, you know what though? I'm looking at Sled Shack, and I'm thinking this could dethrone Sled Shack. Yes, it could, and it does. So my number 5. So this is now my number 5. Because I really like the message. I really like the writing in this one. Sled Shack was great, but I think this one's better in terms of the Hiques storyline. Anyway, Victor, does this dethrone any of your top 5?
Well, it can, because they're all fresh. So
right.
No.
Yeah, Tanya.
I think
so. You have relationships number 1, fuss in the back bush number 2, fart book number 3, the election number 4, and Modine's 2 number 5. That was last week's.
Yeah, those were good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no because I don't remember fully at the moment.
Well, you can let us know if you change your mind. Victor. Oh, yeah, we already said Victor. Sorry, Matt.
So I think I might shock a little bit here. And I'm going to first say this. So yes, it's going to knock one off my list.
Oh.
Did it have the funniest moments that I've ever experienced in the show? No, there's definitely things I've laughed harder at. But did I laugh through consistently through this episode? Yes. Did I enjoy it consistently? Yes. Did I like everything about it? Yes. For those reasons, I literally can't find anything I didn't like about this episode. This one's going to my number 1.
What?
Whoa.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's okay.
I really enjoyed it. I thought there was so much.
Yeah, better than relationships.
I don't understand.
Dude, relationships is solid. Like,
It's solid.
That was like
They're not even in the same hemisphere. My God.
Oh, wow.
Relationships was
so much
solid.
So does that
I
just-
love the I love the message. I love everything about the dialogue was so good. I just thought as like I said, as a proud Canadian,
Matt, hold on. Relationships, that's attention's paid. That's that cold open that like.
Yes. And that's why I was being clear. I'm like, there are better moments in the show that I have laughed harder and enjoyed more. But as an overall episode, I genuinely enjoyed. I couldn't look away from this one. In almost every episode I've watched, there's moments where I'm kind of like, all right, I can do it. There's throwaway moments. I didn't actually see in my eyes a throwaway moment in this because I felt it all made sense. I liked the development of the character, like development of the stories. I liked how it was written. I laughed my ass off. I don't know what else I can ask for. So yes,
what's the name of that 10% beer that you're drinking again?
It's I think it's just called triple IPA.
All right. So does that mean everything?
maybe I'm just a little happy.
So everything just gets moved down then, and Sled Shack gets knocked off. All right. Wow. That's.
Sorry,
I mean, I gave this one a fresh, but I wouldn't go as far as. I mean, relationships. That's like. That's all of our
still number 2, man. We got 9 seasons of
all of
all
us
in here.
put relationships in the top.
All right, no,
1.
that's good. It's your top 5, man. All right, cool. Let's move on to listener comments. He couldn't get it in under the wire last week after our 1-star rating, but our buddy Steven said that there was a rating waiting for us in the queue, and it finally popped up this week. 5 stars from S. Walker. Entertaining and engaging. Hop on board and get rolling with this rig of regular people who can't open a podcast properly to save their podcast.
So true.
You can tell Steven listens. Tanya, Al, Vic, and that other guy do a great job, and we'll keep you laughing. And that's from our buddy Steven
And might I just say, at the beginning, I said, "How are you now?" And you all 3 of you dropped the ball on that.
We're still,
I'm sorry.
we're
Was
still-
Al still doing his fumbling intro?
disappointing.
I don't know.
We're still waiting for that perfect intro so we can submit this for an award. All right. Thank you so much, Steven, for the 5-star review. We encourage that behavior. If anyone else wants to give us a review on iTunes, 1 to 5, we don't care. We'll read it on our podcast. Next up, love the.
Oh, but just before you go on, I will bet your keg dinner that our listener gave us a 1-star. Listen to our last episode.
I hope so. I hope so. Well, he or she was, had to listen to all of them up until then. So why not?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
They're pot committed now.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
they're pot committed. Next up, love the podcast. Still catching up on old episodes of show and podcast. Surf rock is the old times music the producers seem to love. Think Dick Dale from Pulp Fiction, not Beach Boys. That's from Scott Gilligan. I agree. Yeah, a lot of they've got brilliant music, and if it isn't the hardcore hip hop, it's definitely kind of a surf rocky kind of sound, which I love. I'm a big fan of that stuff. Thank you, Scott. And our buddy Mike Lowranger wrote, back to work after Thanksgiving break and a brand new at Produce Stand pod to help me get through the day. We are so happy to help you get through your first day back at work after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and did you see his follow up? And honestly, this is what I liked more. And this was on Twitter. He commented, he corrected how to say his last name, which I thought was funny, and then said, "And now I'm sad because I got to wait till Friday for the next pod. I love it so much because it really feels like I'm just sitting in on a conversation with my good friends talking about my favorite show. You guys are killing it." And
That's awesome.
I love that comment because I thank you, Mike.
so
I mean,
awesome.
we're having fun here, and I'm glad that there are people like yourself who are enjoying it. And Ferda, buddy, Ferda.
Yeah.
That doesn't make me feel so weirded out now that somebody else is listening.
See, we're helping people get through their work day, right?
My private conversation.
It's on the Twitter sphere.
And speaking of the Twitter DM group, if anyone wants to join, we have a Twitter DM group of like-minded people. We're all Letterkenny fans. This week, there was a lot of sharing pictures of dogs and cats. That was so yeah, it's not just Letterkenny talk that we talk about whatever.
I'll have to ask my IT team to.
Here we go. Okay, I'll set you up with a goddamn Twitter account so you can follow along. So if anyone's interested in joining the fun, just DM at Produce Stand Pod and we will add you to the group.
Al, just for is that the most annoying IT job you've ever had?
Oh man.
Oh, God.
The other day she was on a work call and she couldn't get something to work on her Microsoft Teams, and she said IT, and it was me. Like I was like, wait a minute, your company has an IT department,
And you couldn't figure it out.
Well,
May I just add?
Yeah, so I told you, talk to your IT department.
It wasn't a simple solution.
Yeah, I didn't think it was, or else I'd be able to figure it out. Also, as of the results of last week's episode, there were 3 would you rathers that happened during the episode. So I thought they'd make good polls. So I posted them on Twitter, and I just wanted to give an update on how those polls went. The first one: would you rather a bit of peas in your mouth or a bit of poops in your nose? At the beginning, it was close. It was almost like it was a tie for a while there. And then I think Letterkenny Memes shared it out, and we got 47 votes. And then a bit of peas in your mouth pulled away and won it. 83% said bit of peas in your mouth over a bit of poops in your nose. So
totally.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm on the losing end of that one.
Ugh.
I really want to defend myself on that one, though. There's a such thing as going nose blind. Like after a while, you would just stop smelling it. All right. So the the peas in your mouth, you'd always taste it.
I'm not willing to take that risk.
No, that's not even like I don't need more than a second to make that decision.
I think differently of you
Ain't no
because of
poo
that.
coming near my mouth.
I think differently of you because of that.
And it was a good 20 years. All right. Would you rather have this one was a little closer than I thought, but it was also just only 9 votes. Would you rather have a penis for a nose or a vagina for a mouth? Penis for a nose. Vagina for a mouth won with 55.6%. But yeah, it was close. 55.
Can I just say the penis for a nose, like anyone else think of Pinocchio? Like,
yeah, 100%.
I was like, shit, like everyone would see if you got excited about something. Like if your nose got a little excited or if like the breeze kind of hit it the wrong way, like depending on the age of the nose, like it could just be out of control. It could be.
That's the only thing that came to my mind.
And in the episode,
the thing that came to my mind is the penis on your nose instead of the penis between your legs, or is this an additional penis?
No, I interpret it as an additional.
Additional.
Yeah,
additional.
All right, because if it's additional,
and it can't be used.
You got to worry if you have a vagina for a mouth in terms of what penises are. So I gotta, So yeah, I mean,
saying that you're using it in that way.
There's always those stories of guys kind of,
are you having second thoughts about finishing that sentence?
Blowing themselves, like if they had a vagina for a mouth, like would that be And anyways, too far.
Whole new world of DP.
And the last would you rather be surrounded by 3 bed bugs or 3 mosquitoes? And overwhelmingly everyone went mosquitoes. 83% said mosquitoes.
Yep.
And that was 47 votes. So that was a lot of people saying mosquitoes over bed bugs. I've never had bed bugs, so I can't say, but Matt has, so yeah.
You're trying to say.
I've never had them, but I hear nothing but bad things, and I was surprised that it was that high for bed bugs.
Mm-hmm. All right, closing comments. Overall, love the episode, and can't wait. Let's see, what episode are we on here? 4. So 2 more until the end of the season. And so far it's been a strong one. Like I've given a fresh to everyone, maybe a little loosely, but it's been a solid season.
I've given a fresh to 2 of them.
Yeah, so
that just blows my mind.
Exactly. So I think we're turning.
Something's happening.
So to that 1-star reviewer, we get it, and we're enjoying it. So there you go, Victor. Any final comments?
Well, I guess I was the Tanya of the group today, and so I'll expect some tweetering about that. So, but that's okay. I stand by my opinions.
Tanya,
you guys are wearing me down. I think I'm just tired. I'm really tired. I've been like burning the candle at both ends. So yeah, maybe I'm just a little too weak. Maybe I'm getting it. I think I'm starting to get it. So yeah.
All right, and Matt, you get the last word today.
Oh, fuck, I love this. This is just so much fun, guys. Like, seriously. I'm living a very simple life through this COVID and fucking mayhem, and this just makes my week. So thank you. Thank you. This was a fun, but this season's a blast. And I think if I recall when I watched it the first time, it was around this stage I really started. I mean, I enjoyed it all, but I knew there was a few seasons that I liked more than others. And there's some key moments in this season that are ringing those bells. And I'm like, yeah, this one's awesome. So let's keep doing this. This is so much fun. Thanks for everyone for listening. This is a blast.
So I'm playing us out here with the song that happened at the end of the episode called Marie tu pleures by Carquois.
The ending was awesome. Just have to say
it was a very good ending, and just Dary's giggling it is infectious. And that's all we have for this episode. Next week we review and recap episode 5 of season 3, The Battle for Bonnie McMurray.
Oh.
In the meantime, don't forget to give our sponsor GD Pop Custom some love. You can follow him on Facebook and Instagram at DG Pop Customs. On Twitter, he's Dennis Gugin, and he's a good guy. He's a really good guy. Please rate us on iTunes if you like the show. Follow us on Twitter at ProduceStandPod. Thanks for joining us. Now we're going to pack up some snacks and get on the road to the Quebec border. Just kidding. There's a pandemic. We're not going anywhere. Ever. On behalf of Matt, Victor, Tanya, and myself, thank you for listening and have a great week.
Debbie Downer.
Ever.